Yahweh Shemel Shai. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, already we praise and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Hashem Kodash. The wellness to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and real well. Salutation to the Aki and preaching the truth to the four corners of the earth and sincerity, Brother Yakal, coming to you with another lesson, Lord will be edifying through the Spirit. As you could see the title, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. And we know that goes into Esau, right? Because Esau is the one that increasing that which is not his, pursuant to the book of Habakkuk 2. And we're going to go down into it, right? Well, go down into it one time. This is the book of Habakkuk 2 and 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Verse 5, it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Neither, and when it says transgression, it goes back to transgression is what? Breaking of the laws, right? But by wine, which is his philosophies, he is a proud man. The Bible calls him the most proud. It says, neither keepeth at home who enlargeneth his desire as hell. And what is the enlarging your desire? To always want. The scriptures talk about grape gatherers. If they come, they leave nothing. And that is America. That is Babylon for you. You understand? But through all the years, all the atrocities that they did, and not only unto us, but unto the other nations as well, because they take our stuff, go back from the Native American, take their land, which is the land of America, which you have today, going straight back, also to the other nations where they set up the Navy bases, they set up the embassies, and they do it all under what? Because they could, right? Because there's in the power of their hands, as the scriptures say, right? It says, enlarging his desire as hell and is as death, right? Because we know that death is what? Never ending. Death does not finish. Death is something that always want more, Death could never finish. And that's why how Shai coming back to conquer when he return, right? We're continuing and cannot be satisfied, right? But gathered unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And that is why he's heading into a time where he's going to have to rely on the mark of the beast. Because now with this mark, he isn't telling himself he could get all people, right? His last trump, in other words. We had an entire time where we have this devil back against the wall. The Lord is breaking him down inward, outward. You understand? Because even in the same Habakkuk, I believe, if I go down into it more, it speaks a lot. It shows you that there's nothing new under the sun. That what the Lord is doing unto Babylon is something that he did unto them already. You understand? But bear with me here. Right. I was just gonna say pursuant to the common verses. Right. So going down, I'll just read over the end of verse 5. It says, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right. Verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him? Right. And we see that happening more and more coming to the end. All these other nations, the scripture say, for the nations are mad, because he caused them to drink of the wine. You understand? All the philosophies, everybody became Americanized, they fell for it. And then what? He lead them down the path of death, where we will go into that. We're continuing. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth, right, that which is not his? How long? right? And we could go down into the book of Job 20 and get at, because Job 20 by itself is a spiritual book. You know, it has some depth where it shows you what has happened unto them. Just like the book of Isaiah 14 and Jeremiah 51 and all these precepts, but Job 20th chapter, brothers could go into it in that time, man. But yeah, continuing here, it says, how long unto him that leadeth himself with thick clay? And now when you ask yourself, what does that thick clay represent? That thick clay represents death. So it says, um, woe, which is destruction to him that increaseth that which is not his, which is Esau and America, Babylon today. They increased that which is not theirs. They go into that land where scripture say he neither keep it at home, he enlarging it his desire. He always going for some essence, some kind of oil. He going into somebody country for lithium to make, certain things. We don't know for the video to get strike, but you know, how we know, how how Babylon functions. Babylon functions under rape, rob, and that's how they get that's how they was established. The foundation, the founding fathers of that land, that's how they established themselves. You understand? They didn't pay for nothing. It's all for the backs of the slaves. And then extorting the other nations, giving them a structure or giving them ideas, a system, and then taxing them for it. Right? But we're going into the thick clay. Now, I want to search it right here. Right? Share the screen. I want to type up randomly how much debt. So, right? How much debt does America have? Right? That's verification sake. And we're just gonna stream right here. Well, one says current US debt is 31 trillion. The national debt poses a risk to every America's future, right? This one says, updated one, it says the 34 trillion gross federal debt equals debt held by the public plus debt held by the federal trust funds. And when you go into the Roman Empire, they were going through the same thing. That's how you know this is the revived Roman Empire, because they had a outstanding debt. You understand? Where that is something brothers could look up on their own time and as well too. They had outstanding debt. And look at America to this day. They have 31 trillion. Just now they had to invent another word for after trillion. You understand? Zillion, million, they might invent some killion because they're dead going through the roof. And they come in with the MOTB to flatten all that. You understand? I feel like if they could cancel off their debt, as I see, is their last trump. Now we go back to the scripture here, right? But that was verse 6, right? Woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? How long? How long shall Babylon thing? The Lord say when he's about to fill his belly. I believe that is in the same book of Job, right? If it is not Job 20, if I correct me if I'm mistaken. Let me see. Because I know the scriptures say in the book of Job that the triumph of the wicked is short. You understand? But there's also one that says when he's about to fill his belly. Let's bear with me here. See if I can find that precept real quick. And that is Job. I'm gonna see in book of Job 20. Job 20 and verse. Let's get it here real quick. The book of Job chapter 20. And I read from verse 5 and it says, I read from verse 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, right? And the wicked is who? Esau Edom. The triumphing, and the scripture in the book of Habakkuk, it says how long, right? But it's really short. It says, on the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment, right? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. Because in a time, and after the 1,000 years, he shall serve his time, he's going to perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Yeah, just like you can when you can't remember a dream in the night, That's how he's gonna be. Because at the end of the day, he's the wicked and the Lord already marked him for that. You understand? Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. They have a lot coming. Even when the scriptures say, shall thou altogether go unpunished? Thou shall not go unpunished. Thou is going to punish you and he has a set judgment for you. That's why he told us double the cup. We want to make it as enjoyable as possible for you until the 1,000 years. I want to say enjoyable. I mean on the elect side of things. You understand? On the elect side of things, it's going to be enjoyable as possible. Like when you're trying to squeeze a orange, is to get all the juice. That's how we're going to make sure it is. All the juice that we could get out of Esau for working, slaving, we're going to get it. And that is the judgment the Lord has set for you. So we're back to the title of the lesson, where it says, woe to him, which is destruction to him, that increaseth that which is not his. Right? So we're going to go into some precepts. Well, everybody know the numbers 35. Right? But let's see. We have here. Right, so I'm getting numbers 35 real quick. Numbers 35. Just to show that no matter what you do, the Lord's word is not going to return void. So that means that these things that are already written, basically is your judgment. Right? Right, this is Numbers 35, 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed, which is the Israelite blood, and all the other blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Right? So, continue. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel. In other words, I am the deliverer of the children of Israel. The Lord is speaking. You understand? Scripture says that his judgment goeth forth every morning. Right? So I got next precept here. We already read in the book of Job, the 20th chapter. Right? I want to jump into, I believe that is Sirach. That's Zechariah. I went to Zechariah 11. Right? Because I know it talks about the oppressors, right? Let me get that precept real quick. Look at Zechariah chapter 11. Right. Verse 5. And it says, whose possessors slay them, which is who's our possessors right now? Esau, right? They slay them and hold themselves not guilty, basically. But the Lord is not going to stand back and just look at it and not leave a punishment for it. That is the whole reason why I brought this precept out. Because they hold themselves not guilty for the things that they did. Yeah, you understand? Even their children, right? They hold themselves not guilty, not knowing that their forefathers, which they are the ones that did all this unto the nation of Israel. They claim to have sympathy for our people. You understand? But yet still they wouldn't give up on their kingdoms. They're still ruling with rigor. They still have harsh laws implemented. How they really proven themselves that they're sorry? You understand? They can't. And really and truly, the Lord don't require that sorry. As we just read in Numbers 35, the Lord require your blood. You understand? The Lord require your necks. That's what the Lord require. The Lord don't require your sorry and your guilt. Because your guilt is going to be, it's going to be shown. Right? Whose oppressors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Even the shepherds have a big part to play. Which go back to the sellouts, Nate, Johanna, the pastors, these Christian pastors that gonna soon tell our people to go ahead and take it. You understand? They have an impending death. They have an impending misery. You understand? A lot of things coming to them that they don't even see right now. Because they think that the Lord blessing them and whatever the case may be, but when they get any judgment, that will be the Lord. You understand? Right now you're lost in the source. But when they get any judgment, that will be the Lord. Alright. We got a precept here. Bear with me. I believe the book of Sirach. Right. Spaghetti of shit. The Apocrypha. Right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 21. Verses. I'll start from verse 8. It says, He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial. Right? And this is not only speaking about Esau as well. It's speaking about all the other nations that use the backs of the slaves to build up their houses. You understand? Other men's money by using, other men's back by free. Because the scriptures tell us that a workman is worthy of his wages, right? So that means when you work, you're supposed to get paid. But they putting us into slavery and expecting us to build their houses for free and doing the most unto our people. And then, here comes evil. When you have somebody in your possession, they will do anything that they see fit unto them. And some of the things that they used to do unto us is, taking a man's wife and doing what they want to them and then sending back that same man wife back to the man. You understand? That's one of the most wickedest thing you could do. Right? You're making a mother, a Jake mother, you're making her breastfeed your child because they want to keep up the posture, they don't want the breast to hang. You understand? They have their child playing with the Jake children like their pets, with a collar around the neck and walking them all over. Right? These things you Esau and these other nations had to pay for. And I can't even begin to speak about the list because you can ask any Jake, any random Jake, right? Some of the things that they did unto us in slavery, and they could tell you. Even when you look at the so-called monuments, they have it for show. If they was really trying to get rid of it, because understand Psalms 83, they say that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance, right? They try to get rid of our thing as much as possible. But you realize they didn't really try to get rid of their own work too much. They make sure they taught you slavery. Although it was wrong, the edification on slavery was wrong, right? They teach you slavery. They show you that the statues that they set up all over your countries, even in this country, it have slave sites. They show you the shackles. They show you all the things. These things are a representation of Esau being proud. You understand? Showing us exactly what he did unto us. Like something to hide. If you really want to hide it and you really want to think, you should hide those stuff. Right? I'm gonna continue here. It says, he that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for his tomb of his burial. So they were gathering stones for their burial all along. Whoop-de-doo. Now it's time for their burial. We headed into that time. It says the congregation of the wicked is like two wrapped together, and the end of them is a flame of fire to destroy them. So what are y'all washing me out? Right? The end of them is a flame of fire. That is why the Lord say, flee from the midst of Babylon. You understand? I believe that is Jeremiah 51. Right? Jeremiah 51 on verse 6. Let's see if I get that. I believe I could start from 1. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse, so that Jeremiah 51, I could start from, I go straight to the point. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in their iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. And I don't have to go into the word vengeance. It goes back into revenge. Who's the Lord revenging? His people, Israel. Right? It says he will render unto her a recompense. Right? Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, as we read earlier on. Therefore, the nations are mad. Now they have a part to play. Now the sentence is slavery. You understand? Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Right? But she not gonna be healed. Verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Yeah, it's gonna be one of the greatest judgment ever since. The Lord said it's gonna be greater than the deliverance out of Egypt. It's gonna be heard about for centuries. You understand? Even the smoke gonna go up for a long while, so that people they will know, right? The Lord had brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. And the Lord had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, which goes back to Russia, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Huh. And this so yapa. because them brothers was talking about this yesterday, right? Talking about the temple where Esau is going to try to destroy with the MOTV, which the temple of the Lord is the body right now, right? I want to jump this and jump to 20. I'll jump up 28, right? Jeremiah 51:28. Prepare against other nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion, and the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. So when the scripture talk about and the Jacob a flaming fire and Esau for stubble, right? It's because we're gonna run on the stubble like sparks. We're gonna be triumph, and our triumph is not gonna be like the wicked triumph, which is short. It's gonna be a reign that is gonna be forever. You understand? So continuing, reach right. To me, the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. Right, so that is that on this. Let me see if I get it. Obadiah 1:18. Right, it's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, and verse 18, and it reads. I want to read from. Bear with me. From verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head, which is what? Right? They that, as the scripture we were just reading, they that increaseth that which is not his, right? So continuing, the book of Obadiah, it says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been, in all that authority, in all that power. They're going to drink and swallow down. The cup of the Lord indignation is slavery, right? So they're going to drink that cup. It says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessors, possess their possessions, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, right? We mark that one, now that elect, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord had spoken it. Right? And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And and it goes on and on. But we understand the point of where the scripture is coming from. Where when you go back to the same Jeremiah 51, and I read from the top. It says, thus said the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind. We go back to what? The missiles, right? And I will send unto Babylon fanners. Everyone that was good with her, the Lord is going to make into a fanner. When you fan fire, it raises, right? That shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in that day of trouble For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. So they're going to circle her, right? Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Who was always the one that bending? Esau. He always was the oppressor, the aggressor, right? Now he has become what? The prey. You understand? Let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted up himself up in his brigandine, right? Go back to his missile defense system, his army, his the amount of tankers he have, the amount of nuclear capabilities. He lift up himself with that because he's proud. And spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. So what else you want to? What else Esau wants? Right? But to fulfill his MOTV now more than ever. Because we living in some scary times where there's nothing else that could help him. You understand? There's nothing else that could even lead to a direction where he coming out of this. The Lord said, blood defile the land, so it's only obvious that his blood going to catch up to him and empty his land, right? And all the that remain, they're going to serve slavery, and they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. Esau and 2/3 of our people, right? They hate him. But you can't just do all these things unto us and do expect the Lord to answer and do expect the Lord to say something. The Lord is really, we representing the Lord on the earth right now. And the Lord is going to glorify and magnify us after he glorifies himself on the earth through Yahushai. Then the Lord is going to glorify us as us being joint heirs unto Yahushai. You understand? So all this what we're doing here is not for, just so. All this is for a time and to come where it's going to be paid off. All this is going to be paid off. You understand? Everything that we was doing was worth it. Right? So Lord, this was edifying through the spirit and power of Bashim Yahushai. And I say, Kalalayama, Allah now Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakudash. That was the other than apostle of great news and well. Salutation to the Aki, I'm preaching the truth to the four corners of the sincerity. Shalom.